Your patients must come to you at times and tell you what they're doing in terms of what they're eating and lifestyle choices. And there must be certain things which very people aren't aware aren't healthy. You actually mentioned bread.
Yeah.
Is all bread bad?
No, not all bread is bad. Most bread is bad. I don't mind some sourdough because it's fermented. So it's going to get rid of some of those lectins that are already in the flour. So those lectins are gone out because they've been fermented. So it's probably a little bit okay. But again, not large amounts of it. A slice once or twice a week is fine. But really, it's a survival food. Bread is a survival food, just empty calories. That's all it's going to do.
Is there like a worse bread? Is there like one bread which is...
Yeah, pure white bread, simple white bread. The simple light white bread. It's pure calories, 70 calories right there. You're talking about just have 10 teaspoons of sugar instead in one slice. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
White rice?
White rice. White rice is a staple food of many people and they cannot live without it. So I run into this problem all the time. So I tell them that this is what you're going to do. You're going to first and foremost soak your rice in water and then discard the water after an overnight soak because it contains arsenic in it and other heavy metals. You'll be surprised how much arsenic there is in rice these days. You see the problem we have? Our sourcing of our foods. I mean, here as a cardiologist has to talk to his patients about how to cook rice.
What is arsenic for people that don't know?
It's a heavy metal that is found in the soil and the water. It's in contaminated soil and water, and in these paddy fields are now full of arsenic.
It's a poison, isn't it? I watch a lot of true crime. People kill each other with arsenic.
It's a very, very strong poison, and it'll slowly kill you.
Is there anything else on that list of misconceptions?
Yeah. So the rice has to be soaked, then you get rid of the water, then you cook it with lots of water, throw away the rice again. Throw away the water, not the rice. And then you cool the rice in the refrigerator. And then you eat the rice the next day by reheating it. Now, what you've done is you've created resistant starch. Now, what's going to happen is that rice is not going to have the same insulin effect in your body and weight gain effect and changes in your metabolism because it's now got resistant starch. Resistant starch means that those molecules have all bound to each other. They resist absorption and digestion until they get to your colon. And then who's going to eat it? Your bacteria. So you're basically feeding the bacteria with your rice. So if you're going to have rice, this is the way you're going to do it. So,
is there anything else on that list that people should be thinking about that they probably consider to be healthy right now?
Yeah. So it's also what you do to your food. Look, you take a nice piece of fish, for example, and if you burn it and you blacken it really bad, you're creating what is known as advanced glycation end products. You fry something, you're creating advanced glycation end products. So let me define that for you. If nature does not have the ability on its own to take glucose, protein, and fat and combine them at very high temperature, but you can do it in your air fryer, and you can do it outside when you're blackening your food and over blackening your food. It's called advanced glycation end products. So when you overburn your food, when you overcook your food, you're creating these molecules. Now you're consuming these molecules, and they've been shown to cause a radical increase in the inflammation in your body because your body reacts to those products. There's receptors to get rid of those. They're called RAGEs, and they get rid of these products, but you overwhelm them, and now you get inflammation.
And is there any other watch-out foods that, people think are healthy, but maybe if I was trying to have an optimally healthy heart, I should avoid?
It's just going to surprise you. Excessive fruit. Because I'm not a very big follower of fruit. Fruit should be eaten only in season because it has too much fructose in it.
Fructose being the sugars.
Fructose is a sugar, and fructose causes fatty liver. So our overconsumption of fruit is another factor that is contributing to coronary artery disease and diabetes and fatty liver. And we think of fruit as being a healthy thing. You see? But fruit should only be consumed really in the fall and in season and in small amounts because that high fructose level really causes major changes in your metabolism. So I'm not too fond of fruit. You can eat fruit in season, small amounts of it. But people go crazy about fruit. I mean, I had a patient who was having mental problems as well as cardiovascular disease. And that's all he lived on is fruit. Morning, lunch, and dinner. And the moment we stopped that, his health changed completely. It got so much better. So excess of fruit is also no good. Excessively cooked foods, processed foods, refined products. And another one, vegetable seed oils. So any food that you prepare or you buy that contains vegetable seed oils is a no-no. Because vegetable seed oils are a product. And if you look at all of them, they're exceedingly high in omega-6. And the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is what the problem we have today. We have far too much omega-6, very little omega-3. So anything that contains vegetable seed oils. So I always tell my patients, get rid of that vegetable seed oil bottle from your home.
So what oil should I use instead?
The oil at home, if you're going to use any oil, is going to be olive oil, extra virgin olive oil for your salad. And if you're going to do high temperature, put a little pat of butter or use a little bit of ghee. Or you can use a little bit of coconut oil.
This is a bit more of a different question, but you said earlier on that when a patient walks into your office, you can kind of look at them and generally see if their cardiovascular health is intact. And we're generalizing here. But if I'm sat at home right now and I'm trying to figure out if I'm healthy as it relates to my cardiovascular health, what are the symptoms of cardiovascular poor health? Like what throughout the whole body? What should can I sort of, obviously I don't want anyone to self-diagnose at home, but what kind of symptoms should I be looking at even when you look at me? Let's do this on me to make it easier.
Yeah. So number one, look at your weight.
Okay.
If you're overweight, that's one strike against you already. Number two, if you're overweight, where is it? It's mostly on the belly.
I'm overweight, according to the BMI.
But again, you got to look at BMI, is a little crude. It's not a very accurate way of actually looking at it because some people are very muscular and the BMI of 28 is actually perfectly okay for them. It's the constitution I look at and it's visceral fat. Now, I can't measure your visceral fat by looking at you, but I can tell if your belly is protruded. Now, in my office, I do visceral fat analysis.
So what else? I don't have a protruding belly per se. What else should I be looking for to understand if my cardiovascular health is intact? Is there,
Just by looking at you physically?
Yeah.
No, I think that's it basically. It's your BMI and your overall weight and must not have a belly. Just don't have a belly. If you have a belly, you have a problem.
And what about my joints and stuff like that? Is that an indicator of?
Yes. If you have symptoms, if you're having joint pains, look, if you're having joint pains, people think, it's just degenerative joint disease. In my experience, what I have seen, it's all inflammation. Because when I change the diet, when I fix the gut issues, when I fix the inflammation in the body, they all come back and say the joints got better. All of them, uniformly, especially patients who have autoimmune disease. For example, many patients have rheumatoid. And the moment we change their diet, their lifestyle, the frequencies of eating, introduce a little bit of fasting, so we do everything, right? We've changed the gut microbiome. We've made the liver better by giving them some supplements. We do intermittent fasting. We do some exercises. We give them some stress management. We improve their sleep. All of a sudden, the joint pains get better. Rheumatoid gets better. Skin diseases get better. Psoriasis gets better. Because it's the fundamental underlying part is all inflammation.
This is a random one, but I'm just connecting dots from different podcast guests I've had on the show. What about bad breath?
Bad breath. Bad breath is real.
But what is it? Is my oral microbiome linked to my heart health?
Yes. There's a microbiome that goes all the way from your nose, mouth, all the way down to the anus. And each one is specific and can predict whether you're going to get cardiovascular disease or not. There's unequivocal data to show that if you have bad teeth, bad dental hygiene, bad bacteria in your mouth, you're going to get valvular disease, such as aortic stenosis, premature calcification of your aortic valve, and you're going to get coronary calcification. That's been proven unequivocally. Patients who have chronic sinusitis so you think that that's benign? If you have chronic sinusitis.
What's chronic sinusitis?
Chronic sinusitis. Infections inside your maxillary sinuses, frontal sinuses constantly, and you get these headaches, and you get the cold and your blocked nose, and you constantly clogged up inside here. That's inflammation. And oftentimes that's also linked to premature coronary artery disease and inflammation in your body, especially when it's fungal. There's a condition called fungal sinusitis. Again, it comes down to mold. And this mold, it causes that low-grade inflammation in your body. And this has been linked to coronary artery disease. You see, what's happening is we're transforming the whole definition of the causes of coronary artery disease. We have been so myopic in our definition of what causes coronary artery disease. Whereas everything, your entire lifestyle, mental, physical, eating, everything will affect your coronary arteries. Everything.
Do you think much about overstimulation? Really mean like too much caffeine. Does too much caffeine play a role? And I say this in part because I think there's been a few times where I've had like a pre-workout or too many glasses of coffee and I've got like heart palpitations and you almost like feel like you're dying.
Yes. Caffeine is very similar to the adrenaline molecule. Now, why would you want to have too much adrenaline in your body? Because then you're living in a state of existential threat constantly. And then what happens? You don't get the offset either, so you don't get the parasympathetic, so you're only in sympathetic all the time.
That fight or flight.
All the time. So caffeine generates that. And the physiology, look, caffeine is not as benign as we think it is. Now, there's nothing wrong with having 1 or 2 coffees a day. That's fine, okay? But I know people who drink about 6 glasses or 6 cups of coffee a day, and I think that's toxicity. You see? That's toxicity. Too much caffeine. And it's a diuretic. And a diuretic will cause intravascular volume depletion, and that also turns on your neurohormonal activations. So you become more sympathetic. You see? So it's a vicious cycle. Makes you dehydrated.
I was reading about this earlier because I did have heart palpitations one day because I think I drank too much coffee. And what I see here in the research says that moderate caffeine is safe and even heart protective for most people, but excessive caffeine, when you get above 600 milligrams a day, can raise blood pressure, trigger arrhythmias, and stress the heart.
Yes. Now, I want to tell you why coffee is good. It's not good because of the caffeine. And so it's not good that, I'm getting that caffeine, so it's good for me. No, because believe it or not, coffee has a lot of soluble fiber in it. So there is some soluble fiber in it. And it has polyphenols. So coffee has polyphenols, just like how cocoa has. Cocoa, cacao, 85% cacao chocolate. That's fantastic. It's got soluble fiber. Because who's going to consume the soluble fiber? It's actually the bacteria. So a coffee a day is actually good for you for a different reason. It's good because it's good for your bacteria. Because it's getting soluble fiber and it's getting polyphenols. And all those polyphenols are consumed by your bacteria.
They call cacao, don't they, the something of the heart. My girlfriend's quite spiritual, and in her practice, they call it like the heart medicine, cacao.
Cacao, it is, because it has a lot of antioxidants and it has a lot of soluble fiber. So wait a second, is the soluble fiber? Yes, because that's fostering the growth of the good microbiome. The good microbiome is then going to produce postbiotics, and the postbiotics are going to give you all the benefit that you're going to need. So it's going to cause less leaky gut, less inflammation, and your enteric nervous system, your vagus nerve is going to be protected because we're destroying our vagus nerve right now with the leaky gut.
When people get heart palpitations, I imagine a lot of them message you because it's quite scary, isn't it, when you feel your heart beating? What is typically going on, and when is it cause for concern if you've got heart palpitations?
Yeah. If you have underlying structural heart disease, let's say you have blocked arteries, let's say you have a cardiomyopathy, a valvular disease, and you're having an arrhythmia, which is palpitations, that is definitely life-threatening. They need to come straight to the office, and we need to monitor you and find out what's going on. But let's say you're otherwise perfectly healthy, young person, perfectly healthy, no heart disease whatsoever, and you're having palpitations, then it's usually an imbalance of your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system.
You're too stressed.
It's basically either too much sympathetic or not too much sympathetic, but you have too little parasympathetic. And that is one thing that I want people to realize, that if you've knocked your vagus nerve off because you have a leaky gut or because of your lifestyle and your vagus nerve is not working very well, you will have this imbalance, because the imbalance is not with absolute levels, it's the relative levels of sympathetic versus parasympathetic. So for example, I see a lot of young women in their 30s and 20s who come to me with tachycardia. They have a rapid heartbeat all the time, and especially when they stand up, they get a rapid heartbeat. This is called postural orthostatic tachycardia. And when they come to me, I find out that it's actually the gut. I fix their gut and the tachycardia gets better. Because by fixing the gut, I'm fixing the vagus nerve. By fixing the vagus nerve, the heart rates come down.
If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.